everybody, Prepper003 here today with another series for you for my channel. And this one's only going to be a short one, but it's going to be spread out over a couple months here. And that is going to be Preparedness Essentials for SHTF. And this one today is going to be self-defense. Now right now I'm going to make these videos pretty much in accordance with the most important to the least important for survival preparedness. And I know some people are going to have a little bit of qualms or controversy with some of the ways that I go about my thought process on actually breaking these down. And the first one, as you can probably guess for the title of the video, is going to be self-defense. Now, why do I think self-defense is the most important? Well, you can have tens of thousands of gallons of water. You can have months upon months to years upon years of food supplied and stocked up. Yet if you don't have the capabilities or the training or the ability to defend yourself and your home, all of that is useless. I mean, you can only build so much of a fortress out of those amount of canned foods and everything, but eventually they're all going to run out. And what I mean by that is that no matter how much food, no matter how much water you have stocked up, you're not going to be able to defend yourself unless you literally build a wall with it. And that's about as much as you're going to be able to defend yourself with. And an SHTF scenario isn't just some long-term, mild, catastrophic scenario or some Mad Max 200-year-long event. They can be very small, very focused things, such as a home invasion, even. Because a home invasion is a shit hits the fan scenario right then, right at that moment. Because right there, the shit has hit the fan. Now you have to put your life on the line to be able to protect your family and also to be able to protect your home from the type of invasion or the type of people that are coming to attack you in the sanctity of your home. And the police are literally minutes away when seconds matter. That's why you need to be able to defend yourself and to be able to protect your family by any means necessary. Unfortunately, your laws may say differently. But at that point, if it's between my family's life and facing the jury, I'd rather defend my family with every capability that I have and then face that jury later rather than having to watch my family killed in front of me while I could have done something before that to prevent that from happening. Whether it be setting up a security system, getting firearms training, carrying on me every day that I can legally carry, carrying on me even at home like I am right now, doing things that I do with my family while I'm carrying my firearm, because you never know when something bad can go and happen. Now, I'm not going to go too far with some people saying, oh, he's going to carry in the shower, which I do have a firearm very near me if something does happen and I'm in the shower, but I digress from that little scenario for you guys. But right now, that's pretty much what I want to cut it dry to, is just be able to defend yourself. And also have the capability to defend yourself. Because we are preppers, we do prepare for the worst. It might go beyond that of a basic home invasion type of scenario. As we've seen all over the world, things can happen in a very quick and rapid pace. You can see things go from it being a perfectly fine normal day to, in a matter of 8, even just hours, there being riots in the streets. And it can be completely unprecedented to the point where you didn't even see it coming. So you may need to be able to defend yourself against more than just 1 or 2 or 3 attackers. Because as we've seen in the Middle East, as we've seen over in the civil wars in Europe, as we've seen in clashes in the US, as we've seen in attacks on villages and things like that in Africa, you can be facing a very large threat rather than just being, well, a very large unit worth of threat rather than just 1 or 2 people. And they can be very coordinated, which is why I think you need to take every precaution being able to defend yourself. Whether it be having a fighting carbine with you, being able to have something such as a basic plate carrier to be able to quickly throw on and being able to defend yourself with your family. Maybe having your family orientated into a multi-role scenario where it's not just you defending yourself, but maybe your spouse, maybe some of the more adult members of your family, like maybe a grown-up son that's still living at home, maybe a older teenager, somebody who you can trust with the safety and trust with training of a firearm and working as a team with you. in my personal opinion, I think even kids should get basic firearms training and being able to defend themselves, because there's been numerous cases where kids have been stuck home alone and people have tried to break in, and those kids have successfully defended themselves using lethal force. And what I mean by that is maybe having something like a small PDW like this CZ Scorpion here to be able to use by your spouse or by your kids. And I really like PDWs like this for weaker women, I could say. I know a lot of women personally that can run the crap out of a carbine, and some of them can outshoot me, which is, it's pretty darn awesome to see a woman get out there and just run a carbine. But some of the people that are weaker maybe have some type of disability or not a lot of upper arm strength. Having something like this right here, which is very light recoiling, very accurate for close quarters, and very easily maneuverable around the inside of a house, having something like this right here is something I would definitely recommend having at home for them to be able to quickly grab and use. And along with that, having some type of quick kit to be able to throw on for them as well, because you never know when something can happen and how far that situation can go. So having a kit and having a little bit of a med pack in there for them as well, just in case that it reaches that point to where it's a threat that's not just that you can't take care of, but your whole family is going to have to take care of. And even if you do have to escalate the lethal threat, they're also there to back you up. So, like I said, and this goes into a multi-tiered environment, as I was saying, and this even goes to access on the road, because having something like this right here inside of a vehicle, depending on your laws and everything, can definitely save your life in the event of an active shooter or a terrorist attack, to where there's an active situation to where there's a lot of people who are coordinating attacks all throughout the city. For example, as we saw in Paris a few years ago, to where you had these terrorists moving and coordinating and causing a lot of different types of chaos and coordinated attacks all throughout the city, and it took law enforcement hours to get that taken care of and to neutralize those terrorists and that threat. So it could come to the point to where you could have terrorists and or rioters, looters, what have you, going from house to house attacking people just based on political, skin color, racial, ethnicity, or heck, it could even be religious, to where it's religious persecution going up and down, like, for example, Nazi Germany, where they were persecuting the Jews, just as an example. So that's pretty much the points that I wanted to make, is that the primary thing that I think a lot of people should do is work on getting self-defense, even if you don't, for example, think of or care to use lethal force. Having some type of at least martial arts training, something that can allow you to defend yourself in hand-to-hand combat. Maybe work in getting trained at using some type of edged weapon. For example, just carrying a knife on you, something just like that. So it doesn't really matter in my opinion, but just being able to defend yourself up to a point of using lethal force and getting the training to go along with that to be able to do that. So that's about it. I really wanted to just kind of keep it simple for you and just make the case for why I think, as a preparedness essential, being able to defend yourself through self-defense is key to being able to secure your prep, secure your household, your compound, and being able to protect your family. So I really want to hear your guys' opinion on that, and if you guys really think that it's a key #1 essential for a SHTF scenario. So thank you, I really appreciate it. Prepper003 out.